And we are back. All right, that was quick. Welcome back to the Nielson Show. Sorry, we don't know what's going on with the internet connection. Something just kicked out. But let us know when Gager's back in, and we'll bring Gager on here as well. We were saying earlier, we think that there's somebody in the building who gets in around 8:20 and must turn on this huge internet power source.
It's Tom Laverne Gazzola. RCN has connected the dots here.
You think that's what it is?
It's the same type of timeline that when Gazzola usually kind of rolls around. It has to have something to do with him. Maybe it's the product in the hair.
That's actually a pretty good point.
Why not?
Everything is smooth until we get into the area where Tommy is supposed to roll in. Good thing is the
coincidence? I don't know.
Nasty Chat is back up and running pretty good. Vivek says, Vivek, huge. Vivek's the first guy ever, when I have a whole list of addresses for the Crack Pack, Vivek is the very first person I ever shipped anything to with the Crack Pack, which, by the way, if you were listening or watching right now, Crack Pack returns tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
I scheduled a video to be posted this morning where I'm like, it's been a really tough process here. We've been super busy.
Yeah.
Sometimes in life, you need to sacrifice some things along the way. Everything has been shipped out now. And then I said, which means we're back, baby.
Get going.
And we're going to be doing that tomorrow. Megabird says, Tommy turns the internet off so we can't slack him for being late. That's a good one. I like that.
Tell the theory.
Yeah, that might be the theory. Yeah, theories on why, actually, if anybody legitimately might know why the internet drops out for the last 3 days around 8:30, please let us know.
For real.
It's 2 minutes. Yeah. Today it caused some bigger issues than the last couple of days, but Justin saying it's probably those other guys trying to steal the bandwidth so their signal reaches past the mall parking lot. That's pretty good. I mean, that's pretty creative stuff. We wish everybody the best of luck. All right, we have Gager. Let's bring in Joaquin Gage this morning. Gager, how you doing, buddy?
That was really funny because you were saying how it goes out. And it just went, and every day at this time, boom, I was gone. That was pretty funny.
That timed out really well, hey? Funny for you, Gager. Funny for you, not for us. Yeah. Hey, you installed internet for a living. What would be the issue where one day for the last 3 days, something has drug on the internet for 2 minutes and slowed it down?
I mean, I don't know what provider you're with, but usually if there's multiple businesses in the building and they're all drawing upon it, I would look to have your own dedicated line from the distribution point, so it's not split at all. That is the Nielson Show's designated line back to the plant.
Are you busy this afternoon, Joaquin? Do you want to?
I used to have. Well, I mean, I still know people, and it would be very shady for me to do something like that. But whatever, we can see what I can do.
We love shadiness, Gager. You put in a couple of calls. I think you'd be familiar with our provider, and we'll see what we can do. It's actually the internet's been great until the last 3 days at 8:30. For 2 minutes.
When Tommy shows up.
We think it is. A lot of people are putting this on Tommy Gazzola, actually, which is...
Somebody said his Tinder account is sucking up all the bandwidth.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the...
Tommy gets in, and his Tinder account... Hey, what's your middle name, Tommy? Lawrence. Oh, that's not as exciting as we thought. Lawrence is a really nice middle name, dude.
Strong, yeah.
God, Lawrence. All right, well, we just figured out Tommy's middle name. He's here. Joaquin Gage is brought to you by ProAmSports.ca. They got all the Oilers stuff there, the memorabilia, if you're looking to get your hands on that stuff. Plus, right now, they got the NFL sideline headwear from New Era, throwback jerseys from Mitchell and Ness. They've got both the Sanders. They got Barry, the really good one, and then the other guy who talks a lot, Coach Prime. You can visit them online at ProAmSports.ca, or, of course, go visit them in Edmonton on St. Albert Trail, 1 block north of the Yellowhead. Keep rolling in here on reasons why our internet slows down for 3 minutes. I like Tommy's Tinder account using all the bandwidth. That's a pretty good one. Gager, we dropped a new Pit Stop Pals last night, and what a week to kind of get back on track here with the Pit Stop Pals. Singapore was the race that we want to see every single week, isn't it?
We were talking last night, Dusty. The final laps and seeing Ferrari, McLaren, and two Mercedes, like all within tenths of a second, coming down to the final laps. That was so exciting, and just even the beginning. I haven't felt that much anxiety at the start of a race all season. Well, maybe aside from the first couple, but just not knowing what was going to happen. Was Ferrari going to blow it with some weird strategy that they were going to implement? Was McLaren going to be able to hold off everything? Was Max going to just start cutting through the field like butter? It was great. Unbelievable race. I said it last night. I think this type of competitive racing is what we're going to see next year. Unfortunately, not the end of this year, but next year. And I think the gap between Red Bull and other cars is slowly and gradually getting closer and closer.
I was kind of expecting when Mercedes went into the pits to get the new tires late, I was kind of expecting Ferrari to botch something along the way. They kind of were just steady goes, and you're going to sacrifice Leclerc here. But Carlos Sainz managed to get it done. But you're right. I think we were all kind of waiting for Ferrari to all of a sudden be like 4 laps later, like, Mercedes catching us, let's go get new tires, and then completely hand the podium to Russell and Lewis. Because that's what we've seen from these guys, right?
Well, we saw Carlos Sainz implement racecraft that seemed over the radio to surprise the pit crew, which is crazy. They're letting him know that Lando's getting within DRS, and he's going, "Yeah, I know, it's on purpose.
Yeah,
I'm doing it to keep the other cars back." And they were like, "Oh yeah, good job, Carlos." It's just he Ferrari, the drivers almost have to take it into their own hands at this point. And they said on the broadcast, I've been probably most impressed over the last few races since the summer break of Carlos Sainz and how he's been able to raise his smooth operatorness over the last few races. And it's funny because if you do look at the past few years, it seems like it takes him kind of the full year, and then as he gets to the end of the season, you really start to see what a great driver he is. He takes his driving to another level, and we definitely saw that in that last race.
Do you expect any of this variety to carry on to Japan or anything like that? Or is it kind of like for people that have checked out kind of, oh, it's Red Bull, there's that, and then this weekend happened, and you're like, oh, is it time to get sucked back in, or are we just going to kind of revert to the old ways once again this weekend?
I would watch free practice 1 and 2, or just kind of look at the results. More so free practice 2, because again, Red Bull with Max, you could see the struggles, and with Checo too. In free practice 1, they just didn't have the right setup. But in all the races that this happened before, Eric, by free practice 2, they had things ironed out completely, and Max was consistently putting in, as the track evolution started going, he was consistently 1 or 2 right in that. So, and this was the first race where they didn't figure it out in that second practice. And so that's when I started questioning, oh, maybe this is the race where Red Bull just can't figure it out. And lo and behold, it was.
Gager, let's move over to the Edmonton Oilers, where we were having a discussion on the show earlier today about the most intriguing battles, and a big one comes up between the pipes with Stuart Skinner and Jack Campbell. How much of a battle do you expect there between those two guys to start the season and try to be anointed the number one? And how does this back and forth play out all year?
Yeah, it's this is the hot topic, I think, over the last few days in Edmonton here. I mean, and I've been going through this like Babs through a camera roll, and I just feel that it's. I said it before. I think it's Campbell's. There's something special that Campbell's going to bring at the beginning of the year, and he's going to need to. I just have a feeling. I don't know what it is. I like the situation that he's come into. I just feel that he is going to have a bounce back season and establish himself as a goalie that Woodcroft can implement more than he did last year. And that's what the Oilers need. And it's with Skinner. I mean, I say this, I love Skinner. I think he's great, but I just, with how last season went, I think there's just he's got to realize he's not going to win a Stanley Cup every save, right? He's just got to let the game kind of come to him. I think he's going to just put a little bit too much pressure on himself to repeat his performance of the previous year. But again, his fundamental play, his technique, there's a lot of structure to fall back on. He'll get his game back by Christmas time.
What does it take? Like, what does Campbell have to do? Because people have been texting in today and on the nasty chat and stuff saying, they were extremely nervous watching Campbell in the playoffs. Even when he played well in games, you're like, oh, but the next shot. How does Campbell, I guess for lack of a better question, how does Campbell win people back over? What does Campbell have to do so that when he's in the net, people aren't extremely nervous every time a puck goes towards a goal?
I can't make every save look like a 10-beller. That's one thing. That's
make some saves look routine, basically.
Exactly. And that's what Skinner does, right? Like you don't recognize the movement and his positioning and get to the point of where the puck's coming to. Like it's an amazing job what Stuart Skinner can do. And then when Campbell had great games, he was like, oh, he was good, but it was all that in-between movement and getting in the proper position. When a goalie hasn't played for their team a lot, and when you haven't played in a while, there's a lot of emotions going. You got the adrenaline going. Sometimes there's a little bit too much movement. Campbell has to refine his game to that point because he can make the big 10-bell save, but he's got to refine his movement, get himself in a good enough position where not only is he stopping the puck, but eliminating those second chance opportunities.
Do you see an interesting battle between Broberg and Desharnais for that 6th spot in the starting lineup?
I do. That's going to be big. The Oilers need these two guys to raise their game to the next notch for sure. We saw what happened a little bit with Desharnais in the Kings series, where I think the Kings exploited a little bit of foot speed. I hope that Desharnais was doing that step ladder all summer long to get in the proper positions. But we also saw when Desharnais joined the Oilers how the PK just went to a different level. So and then on the Broberg side, he's got to take a step. He's got to be battling to be that option, to be that 5-6 defenseman every single night. We know how great he can move and he can defend with his feet. I think a lot better than Desharnais, but there's going to be situations and during games and depending on the competition where you're going to need that big, huge physical presence to lean on the other team, especially and make it difficult in those tough areas for the opposition.
Gager Yeeps is in the nasty chat here talking about Jack Campbell changing his equipment so many times last year. Is it like, have you seen that before from other goalies, or how much does that impact somebody's game?
No, I'm kind of surprised he just hasn't gone back to Vaughn, to tell you the truth. I was talking to late Gazzola the other day, and he had mentioned that I believe it's Bauer that he's using now, and I think that's how he ended the season, and he's feeling like that is it's a good mix between a pad that's a little bit more firm, but with the comfort of the Vaughn. The Vaughns were like they were slippers that you put on when you came home on a winter's day. They're really comfy, but I think they break down a little bit, and just with the types of goals that he was allowing, it seemed like it was going through him in different areas. So hopefully he can get to a point where his equipment is functional and comfortable. And let's not let any of those pucks from the blue line hit the glove and go in.
I remember when Vaughn first came on the scene, and you were really cool if you had Vaughns. Like, because I was a goalie from like 9 to 15, and for you as a kid, it would have been even more so. But like for the first 2 years I was in net, I just used like the Kimberly minor hockey big brown pads that weighed 1,000 pounds. And then like the dream was always like, oh, look at that guy. He's got Vaughns. Like it was such a big deal back then, buddy.
Well, all the big goalies had them. And I remember my first training camp walking in and seeing Billy's new Vaughn setup, right? And just the orange and blue and white and brand new spanking pads. And, you know, these things were just made for double pad stacks. And Billy probably threw out 20 in warm-up. But it was... I remember because then of course all the reps are there, and there was the Brown rep and the Bauer rep, and I knew the Bauer rep from junior, but I was like, when his name was Ross Agathos at the time, and I remember when he was talking to Billy about his gear, and I kind of just inched my way forward just to be beside Ross, and he goes, "Hey, Ross." I go, "Hey, Joaquin." And I was like, "I'm a goalie too." hoping to get some Vaughn stuff, and it worked out. He measured me up, and we got some stuff in the minors. But
weaseled your way into the Vaughn gear, hey? Like,
yeah, I did. I think I had to pay too, which was really bad. Staffy wouldn't pay for my stuff, so whatever.
Kevin asks on the Nasty Chat, where is Concession 7 and is Gager working this week?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm on the list, I think, but yeah, I know I've only won my wieners I've only won one game, Dusty, and it's getting into crunch time here, so I'll be a game time decision, I think, for slinging wieners.
Okay, well, you let us know, because
we're
all going to be
burgers
there.
Though burgers. I want one of these burgers. I was talking about.
You know, you'll get a burger if I'm there, Eric. I'll send you the text.
Yeah.
I'll send you a text. I'll fire those out like cards.
7.
All right, Gager. We'll talk to you later on Two Guys in the Goalie.
Awesome. Later.
There you go. That's Joaquin Gage, brought to you by Pro-Am Sports. Visit them online at proamsports.ca. We need to come up with a Commonwealth handle for Gager. You know, like the Phantom of the Opera? Like, we need to have some sort of moniker for Gager being like this behind-the-scenes wiener expert at Commonwealth. I think that would be good. Any suggestions?
Yeah.
Any suggestions? Min Darwall's in the house.
Yes.
Minner, what's up, buddy? Yeah, that would be good.
I'm glad somebody asked the question, though, because it was kind of burning.
Yeah,
I
no,
wanted
it's
to
good.
know
Like,
that
we
for
need
Friday.
to know if
Yeah,
he's there. We got. I'm calling the game.
Really fix you up.
Murray's hosting you guys in the suite. Tommy's birthday,
yeah.
As Lawrence turns 1 year older. Michael says, hey, when Gager says he's speaking to the late Gazzola, it sounds like Tommy's passed away.
He's very much alive. He's just
I'll be honest, for the first 20 minutes after 8 o'clock every day, we're like, man, I hope Tommy's okay.
You never know.
So, yeah, we'll see how that plays out. All right, let's get into one more sports update, and then we'll wrap things up for William Huff.
We begin with football, but not of the NFL or CFL variety. The XFL and USFL are in advanced talks to merge. This according to a report from Axios this morning.
Of course they are.
Do you smell what the deal will be completed before the 2024 season, creating one alternative football league to the NFL stateside. An official announcement could come as soon as later this week. Monday night doubleheader last night saw the Steelers beat the Browns 26-22. Browns losing running back Nick Chubb to a knee injury. He's expected to be out for the season. Well, the Saints improved to 2-0 with a 2017 win over the Panthers. On the diamond, the Jays are back in action. They're on the road visiting the Yankees to kick off a 3-game set. Yusei Kikuchi will start for Toronto up against Clark Schmidt. Toronto entering play today hold a 1-game lead on both Texas and Seattle for the second wildcard spot. Oilers wrapping up the Young Stars tournament out in Penticton yesterday afternoon. They fall 5-2 to the Canucks. Training camp, main camp, will open tomorrow as the preseason schedule begins Sunday against the Jets. And match day 1 in the UEFA Champions League about to kick off in a couple of hours with 8 matches on the docket.
Last summer on the Oil Stream, you and I discussed the possibility of Gagne coming back here on a PTO. He signed with Winnipeg and got an actual contract.
Anytime you can have Sam Gagne involved in your organization in any way, it's a major positive for you.
They love him.
The Oil Stream with Nielson and Gazzola. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Join Murray McCourt and Curtis Stock for tips and tales from courses around Edmonton and area with the VIP Golf Show, presented by the Tailor Made Performance Center at the Ranch, Sundays at 8:30, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Don't feel like working? Join the Hangout. You never know what you might hear. Weekday mornings 9 to 11 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Join friend of EST, Guy Flaming, for the Pipeline Show, Monday nights at 8 and Saturday at noon, as he has you covered with CHL, CJHL, USHL, NAHL, NCAA, and U Sports, plus the World Juniors, Frozen Four, and NHL Draft on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Catch up with friends of EST, Andrew, Mike, and Kayla, as they get you in the huddle with the Edmonton Elks on the Turf District. Thursday nights at 8, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielson and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Elks Call is the newest Edmonton Elks podcast, located in Edmonton, discussing everything Elks. Join friends of EST, Scout and Catherine, Friday nights at 8 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Tom Gazzola and Sean Bell take you on a hot lap around the NHL with Hello Hockey, Saturday mornings at 10, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Friend of EST, Eric Thomas, takes you around the track all the way to the checkered flag on Raceline Radio, Tuesday nights at 8 and Saturday morning at 9, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Get all the latest news and takes on everything Oilers with Dustin Nielson and Tom Gazzola on the Oil Stream. Live at noon, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
All right, welcome back to the Nielson Show. The Hangout begins at 9 o'clock this morning. Maddie, Tommy, Min Darwal, and Doug McLean will be in the other studio for the Hangout, so make sure you stick around for that one. We were talking about trying to get Gage or some sort of handle. I like somebody in the Nasty Chat actually says, this sounds like a sponsorship opportunity with Uncle Wiener's Wholesale, which is funny because we got the chairs for the Hangout at Uncle Wiener's, which is like not far from where we're at. So I whipped up there one day and got... 4 very reasonably priced chairs.
It's just nice to walk around in there.
Yeah,
it's just nice
there's a dinosaur in there at Uncle Wiener's. It's huge. It's wild.
Gager, the wiener of wealth. Kind of a play on Commonwealth there, yeah? The wiener of wealth.
Was that in the inbox?
That's in the inbox. 780-218-9999, Paris Jewelers inbox.
Yeah, there's lots of good suggestions. Let's get to the Cool Bet Hotline. Then we'll get into the wrap for William Huff and text of the day for A&W. Okay, boys, I'm going to turn this one over to you guys today. Champions League. Okay.
Wow.
I know. This is great for you guys. Right? Let's Cool Bet Hotlines.
Pressure's
okay,
on.
so what do we got timing-wise? We got 2 at 10:45 and then 2 at 1 o'clock?
No, there'd be like 6 at 1 o'clock.
6 at 1 o'clock.
There'd be a bunch at 1 o'clock.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Oh, yeah,
5,
this
6,
list goes
2
on.
at
Okay, hang on. Let me bring up, that was on popular bets. Here we go. Okay. So, are you on? Did you go to Cool Bet? Are you in?
I'm not on the website. No.
Wait,
I'm on
pick
Cool
a
Bet.
match. What do we?
Well, like this
what
is
do we
putting us
want?
on. You should have given us a heads up to
Yeah,
you're the soccer boys.
Yeah,
Well,
but
what do we
dissect this? Like, we're not Lazio and Madrid, because there's the draws in this, and that's what messes with this all.
There's lots of stuff.
And it's day it's a group stage day one. So
I know we don't know where anything. Lazio's taking on Atletico at home.
Yes.
That one, there's that one.
So the odds on that one are Lazio plus 207.
Atletico's plus 155 and a draw.
And then a draw is plus 220. Why don't we pick that one? What else do
There's
we got?
Milan and Newcastle.
PSG and Dortmund seems to be that could be a tasty one as well. Maybe.
PSG the favorite in that one at minus 120.
I like that one. There's decent value there on PSG at minus 123. Look at us.
It's a new era for
soccer,
PSG. Yeah.
The soccer boys at the
I'm
Cool Bet
loving
Hotlines.
this. I'm loving this.
You like that PSG line? Do you think PSG is going to win?
Sure. Well, it's a new era for them, right? Like Neymar, like it's they've kind of cleansed. They
But they
all that
haven't
stuff.
got a lot
it-
of points in their league. They've been struggling getting points.
I know, but like
That's where it's like.
they're at home. It's
I know.
match day one. You're
But then and they have
pumped up.
Mbappe. Like that screams draw to me. But they have Mbappe, and it's Champions.
That's
League.
the difference maker, the kingmaker, if you will.
I don't bet on soccer much, but I have no problem backing Mbappe. I mean,
Are we doing that then? Yeah,
Well,
sure.
it doesn't seem like a bad idea.
What's him to score a goal?
Whoa. We're going to goal scorers now in Champions League?
I'm just trying to see. He's minus 154 to score a goal. And
Okay, so-
PSG's minus 123. I don't know. I'd almost just go on the Mbappe over the PSG there.
So you think it's more likely that he would score in a draw
Like a
than
1-1
they would win straight
draw
up?
as opposed to a
Yeah.
1-0 PSG winner.
He's the man now. He's got to exact himself.
This is
would
yours
be the
today,
day to do
boys.
it.
What do you want? PSG on the minus 123 or Mbappe to score minus 154?
Let's do Kylian, eh? Mbappe?
Let's do that one.
All right, we're locking it in. Cool bet hotline of the day. Mbappe, minus 154 to score. I mentioned earlier, I was going to blow your minds today.
Well, get at him
And,
tomorrow with
yeah.
the Man U Bayern game. I'm sure Maddie will want to weigh on that tomorrow.
Bet heavy on Bayern.
Done. All right, let's get into the wrap today for William Huff. Lieutenant Eric, what'd you learn on the show today?
It's a
buddy?
merger of football leagues, the XFL and the USFL.
I don't know if
apparently.
I've ever cared about anything less than
Hey,
that.
it's a big deal according to like other Twitter accounts in the states that follow, football league. And look, I don't know, what to make of it, but it's something we learned that.
Well,
could be
what they've
happening
learned
soon.
is that both products on their own suck, so they're trying to merge to save each other, and then before you know it, they'll be gone again.
yes, Redbird Capital.
Long live the. I'm not wearing my Canadian football
Whatever
league
it is,
hat
yeah.
today. Yeah, that's a Travis Matthew golf
CFL don't need to be merging.
hat. No.
Bring back the American franchises.
Discover the William Huff advantage since 1972. William Huff providing industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Most importantly for us, they made our studio look sweet. They made our main offices look sweet. They made the clubhouse for the hangout look sweet as well. So yeah, visit them, williamhuff.com. I learned today that Tommy's middle name is Lawrence.
It's with a W,
With a
not
W?
spelled with the other.
I learned that you got a new pillow.
Oh yeah.
I learned that the coffee game, the homemaking coffee game, is a little bit of a scam.
He doesn't even need it.
Matt Iwanek just drinks coffee because he likes the taste.
It's just a hobby for
which
him.
just continues to go on like the Psycho Iwanek sort of thing. Like, I just like on the percentage from 1 to 100, how many people drink coffee for the taste? 7%?
Well, maybe later in the day, but first thing in the morning, you're kind of doing it to get up, right? But I never knew that you were just. Some days you have it, some days you don't, depending on your mood. You don't need it to wake up in the morning.
Yeah, it's a mood thing. It legit is.
That's weird.
It's generally the thing. And
So if we see you in the morning, we come in and you already got a coffee. Is that a bad mood thing or a good mood thing?
has nothing to do with it. It's just I'm in the mood for it's not like a
I don't know.
taste. It's not a personal mood thing. It's just I want something that's warm.
Yeah.
I guess a drink that's a little warm this morning. It has nothing to do with whether I'm in a good mood or a bad mood or if I'm going to be crabby or anything like that. No.
Yeah.
Just
But
assume
you wouldn't
I'm
opt
not
for
in
a
a
tea,
good
though.
mood in the morning.
You wouldn't opt for a tea in that case.
I would rather have a coffee
coffee.
than a tea. Yes.
I'm a tea guy, so. All right, let's get to
Fine.
your text of the day for A&W. Eric had an A&W coffee this morning.
Oh my God, is it delicious? Black as well. You can get them now. You got the deal there.
Yeah, it's $1. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not. There's like not much to read here. Coffee up until October 1st at A&W in the Greater Edmonton area are $1. Any size. You get a small, medium.
Yeah.
I don't know how many sizes there are, but
That'll
it's
get
$1.
Maddie in the mood. You're not in the mood. You get in the mood for $1 coffee.
If you want a latte, $2. It only runs until October 1st. So what I highly advise you doing is buying like 100 $1 coffees and then pouring them in a container and storing them so you can continue to drink this $1 coffee into the month of October.
I thought you were gonna say like freeze them and then you can thaw them out for a latter use.
Yeah.
I'm doing Fridays. It's gonna be the latte day. I'll do coffees Monday through Thursday and then Friday for a bit. Treat yourself for a latte on Friday.
Well,
Juice up a bit.
a little splurge.
Yeah, why not?
What is this, FM money?
Yeah.
All right, your text of the day. I was talking a little bit earlier on today how my car is like really loud when I drive. The back end. I had people say wheel bearings, wheel alignment.
Yeah.
all of which, what's the wheel? Is that the tire part? Is that the outside part of the tire? The inside
Are
part
you
of
on
the tire? Who
softs?
knows?
Is that maybe the case?
I probably need to get onto intermediates. So maybe that's the case. But this one, I like this text today. Maybe kind of, and we had a lot of good texts today. Man, between Tommy's middle name guesses and a bunch of stuff.
Very good. VG.
Has Dustin tried to unplug his tires and plug them back in? That's a really
honorable mention of the space heater
that's
text.
a really good.
And everything else
space
involved
heater
in that
text
is
as well. I mean,
beautiful.
In the end, some local dealership will take me for a few grand, and then
what's going to happen next?
Yeah,
this is you're like the Columbus Blue Jackets. It's just one thing over and over and over again.
Very much like the Columbus Blue Jackets, man. It's extremely frustrating. But yeah, anyway, that's a good text. Congratulations, you won text of the day. We'll be in touch, and you'll get a gift card to A&W. All right, what are you watching tonight here?
Champions League, that's what I'll be watching later this morning. As I've been mentioning, 8 matches in total for match day 1. The action continues tomorrow as well. But Jay's back on the diamond, and they're heating up again, right? Like it's that wild card race is up and it's down, and it's up and it's down. Toronto visiting the Yankees. They kick off a 3-game set tonight. Mariners and Oakland. That series will continue as well. The Rangers and Boston won. So lots of out of town scoreboard to be watching, as well as the Jays tonight.
Blue Jays minus 102 favorites right now over at Coolbet against the New York Yankees. We'll see how that one plays out.
Maddie's New York Yankees.
This
will be an interesting week here to see how
New York Yankees. Will he need a coffee after this? Find out tomorrow at the Nielsen Show. Hangout coming up. Doug McLean, Min Darwa are going to be in with Matt Iwanek and Tommy Gazzola. Stick around for that. We are going to redirect you from our show right now over to the Hangout, so make sure you stick around. And, hey, tell your friends about Edmonton Sports Talk. Many of them probably don't even know yet. Just tell them to go to edmontonsportstalk.com. They can click Listen Live, or they can click Watch Live every single morning. We'll be back tomorrow morning, starting to work towards another weekend in the CFL and the NFL, and, of course, Edmonton Oilers training camp. Can you believe it? That special time of year is here. For Matty Iwanek and Lieutenant Eric, I'm Dustin Nielsen. Have a great day. Take it easy.
The Lock Shop.
We've been doing this for a long time. We spend all this time salivating over the season. Sometimes, if you haven't learned your lesson, you go hard betting on week 1. And then we get ready to get into week 3 of the season going, what the hell were we talking about for a month leading into the season? Because everything we thought was the case was wrong. So I always tread a little lightly. And I mean, I try not to make these so definitive takes. Things can change very, very quickly, or maybe they have and we just haven't seen it yet.
The Lock Shop with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11.